your girl, Miss Mimi, aka Mimi the Great. It is the Love Power Radio Show. Today is August the 1st, 2020. And I have to say to myself, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. As you know, I have been out of here for I don't know what, I think 2 months. I had to take a minute to kind of breathe and readjust to things. A lot of stuff was going on. So I took a break, which is something that I encourage everyone to do. I had to learn how to do that because, you hear about people saying it, oh, take a break, go find. Back in the day, it was, I had to go find myself. I had to go find myself, even though myself was here. I had to go find myself, and I found her, and I'm back. So welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited to be back. You already know, I want to know how y'all doing. How was your week? How was the, few days, couple of months that I was gone? What y'all been up to? Hey, Michael's Eye Photography. Thanks for tuning in. How you doing? I'm gonna let my guests go first since they're guests. I won't be rude. How you ladies doing over there?
We're doing fine.
Look at the choir going over here. I wish teach me how to do that so I can train my mom. Get my mom to, say what I say when I say it, because she still be trying to act grown, So how's everything been going since this pandemic that we're in?
From my perspective, everything has been going not as planned, but as it's designed.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. I have to talk about that one. And you, Miss
That's a whole other conversation.
Yes, it is. How's everything been going for you? Is it Jasmin or Jasmin?
Yes, it is Jasmin. Everything's been going good for the circumstances that we are under.
Okay, awesome. And for me, like I said, look, I had to take a break. I had stuff going on with my family. And then this whole pandemic and not working, it was like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. We got to cover our mouths. We do that anyway. Some of us do when we sneeze, and then some of us don't, but that's a whole nother, I'll be nice. So for me, it was, I just had to sit back and breathe, take a break and just exist, and muddle through things, that were going on, try to figure out how this is going to work, how that's going to work. Still understanding and reminding myself that, yes, I know God has me. However, me being the human that I am, I just had to take a break, and I'm so glad that I did. I feel refreshed. I got a chance to go to a women's retreat that I thought was interesting because, for me, I've always heard about women's retreat and was like, yeah, nah, it's too many chicks in one room. I ain't gonna be able to do it. Y'all good. I don't need that. And I snooted up my nose. And this one was I'm so glad I went. I learned so much about me. The lady who coordinated kind of pushed me to do something that I always try not to do, and that's be in the front of people. Yeah, so it didn't work. I ended up in front of people. So I enjoyed my staycay, as people call it, my event, my time trying to find me. And now I'm back. Full force, 100% Mimi. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it because I met this young lady, one of my guests, I think about 2 weeks ago it's been. And she reminded me a lot of me because she didn't want to. I'm just in here for this. That's all I want. I'm not going to do all that. And by the end of the day, so we were at a boutique. We were at the House of Couture in Houston on 1960 in Kirkendall. Just a little, small shout out. And Latisa, Miss Latisa B, was in there trying on clothes. And first of all, she got a slamming body. That's just be when I grow up, I'm telling you. So, and she was trying on clothes, and she didn't want to come out the dressing room. First of all, come on out here, child. Let us see what you got on. And so everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's so wonderful, it's so great." And so we coerced her, to try on several different outfits, and by the end of the day, she was like, I didn't want to be here. And then she said something about how young she is, and I was like, wait, let me see your ID. Really? But y'all know black don't crack. Anyway, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
show right now. So when she started talking about how she got her body and what she was doing and what she was how young she is,
Mhm.
prior to going to the store, I was thinking, I think I'm gonna take another month off, right? And then when I got there and started listening to her and started talking to her, and she's just a bowl of energy. I was like, yeah, nope, gotta have you on the show, because I already had the title for today, which is New Beginnings, especially with me coming back from taking a break. And so when she started talking about, oh well, y'all know how we do. I'm shy. That's how I was looking at her. Minus the makeup.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I let her make it, until she put on another outfit, and I was like, "Yes, ma'am. No, we got to talk." So, but without further ado, I'll let Miss Latisa tell you guys who she is, who your people is, like my mama used to say, and how young, if you would like to share that, and then we'll get into your new beginnings.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? My name is Latisa V, as she said, and yeah, we met at that boutique. It was actually one of my outings for the whole week. I've been inside for like 2 weeks, so to be in an environment where I was around women that we were like socializing, even though I was drinking and trying on clothes. I felt like I had known all the ladies in there, even though I didn't know anybody in there. Yeah, it was just so funny how we all just click and connect. But as Mimi was saying, that I was in the dressing room and I was just trying on clothes that normally I wouldn't try on because I had lost some weight.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you still see yourself the way you used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the way I still saw myself when you ladies were saying, you need to try this on, you need to try this on, you need to try. I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Her nose was a little bit more wrinkled up than that, but yeah,
Yeah. So I am a happy, almost, I'm going to say this, I am closer to 50 than I am to 40, but I feel 25.
yes, indeed.
I feel 25. My body, my insides are healthy. I've shed a lot of the excess stuff that my body did not need, all because I changed my lifestyle.
Nice.
No pills, none of that to do it. We
Mm-hmm.
use food. Food is how I changed my lifestyle.
Wow.
You don't have to be a vegan. You don't have to be a vegetarian, but you have to put food in your body that your body knows what to do with it. And that has been how I've been able to basically turn back the hands of time. And that's the way I feel like I have turned back the hands of time. Yeah,
Nice.
thanks to my daughter, honestly. She is truly responsible for me turning back the hands of time, where people used to say before we look like sisters. Now they darn and say we look like twins.
Yeah. Y'all definitely look like y'all are related. So daughter, Jasmin, Tia,
Yeah.
thank you for joining. And so how was it that you got into, well, first of all, tell us a little bit about you, your background, and how you got into the lifestyle change that your mom was speaking of.
Okay, so a little bit about me. I am in my early 20s. I'm almost 24, and I always loved like beauty and health and all those type of things.
Mhm.
Well, I had a journey that I was put on by God. Was diagnosed with 4 different autoimmune diseases
Wow.
that basically took over my life and took it away in a sense.
Wow.
And the medical route just wasn't for me. We did not find much relief during that route over a couple of years. So I literally was at a hopeless state of mind. And I was like, I'm willing to try anything. And next best thing was the holistic approach. And I tried it, I did it, and I was like, hey, I like this. It worked. And
Wow.
I'm healthier than ever.
Okay. Awesome. So if you don't mind, what for
Mhm.
immune
Yeah.
diseases were you diagnosed with?
I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto
Wow.
thyroiditis, fibromyalgia, and ankylosing spondylitis, which all of them basically cause chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and chronic inflammation, all of those good things, well, bad things.
Yeah, and
Wow.
one thing that she downplays a lot of it
Hmm.
because but I like to paint this vision. Jazz was 23 and she was walking with a cane.
22.
Yeah, 22 and walking with a cane. So
Wow.
that's to tell you the depth of the pain that she was in,
Hmm.
where she couldn't even hold her own body weight up, or
Wow.
she couldn't even her joints wouldn't support her.
Hmm.
That she had to walk assisted. I mean, like right now, she has a handicap or
A handicap plate.
on
I
her car
am technically permanently
disabled
disabled.
because
Wow.
of her autoimmune diseases,
Mhm.
and they are not like gone. They still sit there. They sit there in the deep end. And the minute she would change her lifestyle, oh, they're gonna let her know she's still here. Hey, I'm still
Hmm.
here. I'm waiting on you to come back to the dark side.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. And
and
that's why I wanted you to list them because especially in this pandemic where they say that this is one, there's no cure, two,
hmm,
those things have been around for years. And for you to be diagnosed with all four of them at such a
hmm,
young age, a lot of times people think of rheumatoid arthritis as being, somebody, some older person in their 60s or 70s. That, like anything else, has no age on it.
none.
Through my journey of just going to doctors' offices and hospitals whenever stuff happened, it was like they'll look at my chart and be like, "Are you sure you meant to put rheumatoid arthritis? Are you sure you meant to put this? Are you're so young?" I'm like, "I'm sure. I know what I was diagnosed with. Just
Wow.
because I'm young does not mean that I can't have these diseases." And unfortunately, I've had many things that are supposed to be for older people.
Yeah.
I've
Hmm.
been diagnosed with things as young as 12 that were supposed to be for older people.
Wow.
Yeah. Through our journey, what I've been just being there from the day she was born, now that I can look back on everything and I know that her body is sensitive.
Very
Hmm.
sensitive.
Very sensitive. So people that suffer with rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, any one of those autoimmune diseases that results in chronic pain, your body is sensitive to the food, is sensitive to the toxins, is sensitive to the medicine that you're putting in your body.
Hmm.
It doesn't react the same way. So I can
Everybody.
take some of the same medicine she take and nothing will happen to me. That
Wow.
same stuff will tear her insides because her insides are sensitive.
And it will
Wow.
put me on bed rest.
Yes.
Wow.
So
So
it's
when
not
you,
that there's something broken. It's just sensitive and we need to take care of it. It's like, when you have allergies,
hmm
you have to take precaution when you have allergies. It's the
hmm
same thing. Your insides are sensitive. You have to take precautions. You can come on top of it. You can come out of this. You
Mhm.
can. You just
hmm
have to protect yourself and do the right things to create the environment for your body to heal itself. And then once it heals itself, it knows what to do.
right. And so that means that you have to know your body. You have to be
Yes.
in tune with your body. And I know when people used to say that when I was growing up, okay, this is the look I'd give them because, oh, here them old people go again, talking crazy. But it is so true because had you not become aware of that and taken notes from that and made adjustments,
Mhm.
you would be in a worse situation than what you are now. So when you started on your holistic journey, first of all, anybody want to give a definition of holistic?
So, my definition of holistic is basically natural. Anything that you're doing naturally to heal yourself is more on the holistic path. Anything that God has created
Mhm.
from this earth and it's not been manipulated by man is genuinely from the holistic path of medicine.
Right.
Awesome. And I asked that because, again, my experience when I first started hearing the word holistic, it was like,
Right.
let me just say I'm a skeptic from the beginning. So I have to do my own research before I might consider to think about venturing off into something. So, but the way that media had brought about, would talk about Lillian Marie said great definition. Thanks, Lillian. Holistic anything was like,
Yeah.
that's the Antichrist. You don't want to do that. Well, if they were in the medical field, no, they don't want you to do
No,
that.
they don't want to do it. Exactly. Marketing.
Yeah,
Marketing.
because the medical field is goo gobs of money. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and they don't want you to be or live a holistic life or eat clean, as some people say, right?
Right.
So, when you got started, that's been how many years ago?
When I got started with my pain journey, or with just the
Your
holistic life in general?
the holistic life.
I could say I've gotten started probably the end of 2019 is
Okay.
when I just full force went on and changed everything. Now,
Right.
throughout the time of me being sick, was a few years, and I would do little things because I knew that food had something to do with it. So I'll do
Mm-hmm.
little like the green smoothies, or I'll stop eating sugar, or I'll limit my meats. So I was
Mm-hmm.
doing those things, but as far as me being very strict with myself to actually allow that to be my only form of healing, it
Mm-hmm.
was late last year, around November,
Right.
the beginning of
So,
November.
so it hasn't been a full year yet.
No.
No. Was
Mm-hmm.
literally 3 months
Mm-hmm.
after 2 years of dealing with doctors and pain medicines
Over
and
2 years.
just plenty years, and literally 3 months of changing the lifestyle and creating that environment. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It was night and day.
night and day. She got rid of that cane in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And that was my next question. How long did it take for you to see a difference
It
in
was
your
very
body?
it was very soon. As soon as I started implementing the things that I needed to do, it was like, oh, this don't hurt as bad. Oh, I can bend my arm. Oh, I can
Wow.
get up. Yeah. And so just like she said, around 2 weeks, I was able to have those type of feelings. And then it just kept going and going and going. And I just started doing more and more things because I lost mobility, a lot of mobility. Before this, like, worldwide quarantine, I was on my own, like 7-month quarantine at home, just at home, couldn't do anything, stuck in the bed.
Wow. And so, what are some of the things that you eat? Because a lot of times when people say, or people think, you got to eat clean. Because trust me, I was looking at Miss Latisa's body, and I was like, man, listen. In my dreams, one day when I grow up, I'm gonna have a body like that. But what I got to do to get it, right? And then when people say eat clean, it's like, okay, so I got to eat the grass outside. I can only eat carrots. I can't eat. I'm a carnivore by heart. Like, I've gotten to the point where I don't have to have meat all the time, but it is, strongly.
So I feel you. I'm a carnivore at heart too. I don't like leaves, as I used to call them. Lettuce is leaves to me. Vegetables is grass to me. I don't like none of that stuff. And so when it comes to me eating, I literally eat the same thing that other people eat, just very clean. And what I mean by very clean, it does not have all the bad things that have been put into our food to commercialize them over time. It doesn't have those things. I call it bougie food, is what I like to say.
Okay, I can
the type of meat I eat come from a 2-parent household, healthy living and all of that type of stuff. But I still eat meat. I still eat pasta, the rice, all of the things that they tell you not to eat. I still eat, and I love to eat. I can't eat vegetables. I still can't eat vegetables. I don't like them. I gag on vegetables. And I was able to still do this holistic lifestyle and this holistic journey with having all those limitations. I'm a picky eater. Like you, I'm a carnivore. I like meat. I was a meat baby. I spit up pea baby food. I didn't like none of that stuff.
And one of the things that we learned, Mimi, that the way that she had to heal her body, she needed the nutrients from the vegetables. She needed them. Her body required them. That's what was required to heal. But she said she didn't like to eat vegetables. So I told her, if you're not going to eat them, then you have to juice them. And that's when we started. Well, she started juicing. I was already juicing, but she started juicing and realized it wasn't as difficult as possible to get the healing nutrients in her body.
In juicing.
and juicing. So if you don't eat vegetables, you juice them. And we're not just talking about vegetables where, like when we grew up on cabbage and collard greens and what
Yes.
kitchen and they get cooked down and then they put all the fat inside of it and they taste really, really good. Well, when you cook your vegetables, you're killing the nutrients inside of them.
I've
So
heard that.
stuff that's healing, that's meant to heal you and repair
Mhm.
you, you're killing it.
Hmm.
So in order to get the live stuff, the one that heals you, we juice them. So we juice to heal. That's what we juice for. We juice to
Okay.
heal our bodies from what the food damage has done to them, what the medical industry has done to them, what toxins in the air has done to them. We heal our insides. And when you heal your insides, all that excess stuff just drops off.
Hey,
Can you see the comment?
Yes.
that's bougie
That's
steak
bougie
that I
ribeye
love.
steak. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's what I was laughing at because I was like, really? But listen, and that was the question because I know my trainer, yeah, the first time he told me no meat, I was like, so
So I
um,
don't eat meat, but she does, and she's
Every
small,
day.
and she's smaller than me.
Every
I
day.
saw that. I was like,
Yeah, you listed our before and after pictures, right? I sent them to you.
yes, and we will be showing those throughout the show because and then also I want to talk about the I tried it, right?
Yeah,
You allowed me to try some of the juicing because I was like, I've always wanted to try it, but for me, I thought it had to be certain things. But you did allow me to. That's nice. Who is this?
that's
Me.
Jasmin.
Wow.
Both of those are me. The first one in 2018 was I was in pain, but I didn't have no diagnosis yet. So this was like that September is probably a couple months before my official diagnosis of a couple of my autoimmune diseases. And then that's me now.
Wow.
And how long did you spend in the gym?
Oh, I didn't even go to the gym. I haven't been to the gym in like 2 years.
Somebody got jokes.
No, she's serious.
I'm serious.
No, that's wow. That's right up the alley for a whole bunch of people, right?
Exactly. It's
To
been
know that you could go to your kitchen,
yes,
and put together what you can, or what's needed to be healthy, to rid yourself of the toxins. And we talked about that in person, Miss Latisa, you and I. And some people don't realize or don't think about it because we're so much into the groove of things or the grind of things. We don't realize that when you go to the grocery store and get bell peppers and apples and those things that aren't organic, they are mass produced.
yes,
Which means oftentimes they got some type of chemicals on them from being out in the crop, being out in the, they have all those things. And yes, they're probably rinsed off, or you may rinse them off before you eat them. But understand those items were grown with those chemicals. So the chemicals are embedded in the food.
exactly.
Right? So it's always best to, if you can, have your own garden. Go back to that. But if not, to and sometimes I wonder if some of the stuff that they say is organic is, but it's always best to, if affordable, to do exactly that. Get partake in the organic items. So what are some of the things that you juice? So no, you gave me I think you said you gave me the Mardi Gras.
I gave you, which was called our crawdaddy. It is this red cabbage. It's red cabbage, carrots, and an apple. That was the big one I gave you. And then you had two smaller samples. One was a beets. Beets was the primary one, and the other one was spinach and kale in it. So we generally stick to 85% vegetables when we juice, because that's where all the healing power at.
Okay.
We eat fruit. Fruit is not a problem. We can eat fruit raw. It's just eating vegetables raw, which has always been a challenge. So that's why we juice the ones that we don't eat. And we only use an apple to sweeten it. That's it.
And
Just an
then
apple.
the flavors, when you juice them, it's actually different from a lot of the flavors that we know associated to that vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
So I can eat spinach raw. Now I don't have to juice it. I can just eat the spinach raw. It's probably the only vegetable I can do. But when I cook spinach, I cannot eat it. It's disgusting. But I can just eat the raw leaf of a spinach.
I love spinach.
So it has different tastes. So a
Yeah.
lot of people with juicing, they think of the taste of the vegetable that they're used to eating, but it actually has a different taste because it's uncooked, it's untouched, and its
Right.
natural form is actually what you're tasting.
Right. There's some
Okay.
vegetables that are sweet. There are some vegetables that are actually sweet in taste,
Mm-hmm.
but you won't know until you try them. And in our Juice With Us group, we kind of we share a lot of different recipes. Where somebody says, "Hey, this is this tastes good." Well, we'll try it.
Yeah.
I got-
And he's serious.
Yeah, we generally stick to the same vegetables all the time, just because we juice to heal. That's it. So we don't experiment too much.
Mm-hmm.
We like to heal. We keep our insides good. If our insides are good, our body is going to be good. So,
Right.
and when you juice in a lot of different recipes, you have to go to the store a lot.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
need different ingredients. But if you stick to like a core set, like we have a core 5 or 6 of different recipes of different measurements. Some may have more greens and less carrots, and then the next one may have more carrots but less greens. But it's still the same ingredients, so I don't have to go to the store all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I don't have it in my garden out back, I have to go to the store to get it.
Oh, okay. So, in answering to Michael's question, how does he get down? How do I get it down? Well, I read it wrong, but anyway, if somebody were interested in um, getting into the group, you said you have a Facebook group. Where would they go to get into that?
So all you do is go on Facebook and type in Juice With Us, and the group will pop up. And then it will have everything. Basically, we talk about everything. You have people commenting funny videos, commenting recipes, commenting everything about juicing. And we do monitor group to keep it solely juicing, so we don't have a bunch of different ads and stuff going on. We like to keep it straight juicing, and you can find literally everything you need there.
Yeah. There's also a free ebook we have there where we basically help you to get started on what type of thing, what type of juicer to buy. We even give you the first 2 recipes of your juicer. And there's just basic support. If you have a question, we will help you through your juicing journey. And everyone in the group is pretty good at helping you through the juicing journey.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. And go ahead.
I actually, the big one you gave me, I was looking at it like, that's a lot to drink. And I remember when you gave it to me, you were like, it's not that bad. You're going to love it. And I'm thinking, okay, baby. Okay, I got you. And it was the last one I did because we did the 3-day thing. So,
Okay.
but that first one, I think I was the beets.
Okay.
And I remember telling you that beets to me smell like dirt.
Yes. Yes.
The juice was good. I will not lie. All of them were absolutely wonderful. Awesome. Thank you, Michael. And I really, it tastes different because remember I told you I was doing, I drink the beet, ginger, and apple that I get from HEB. But the one that you have, totally different taste, a lot lighter. Still smell like somebody went outside and pulled the beet out the dirt. But
it's a root vegetable.
It was good. And that's what I look for. And that was always a concern of mine, was what it was going to taste like. Do I have to pinch my nose before I drink it? Do I have to stuff my nose with cotton balls before I drink it? Like, do I have to hold my breath? But that was actually, go ahead.
A lot of times when I first got into juicing, I had to do what I know how to do best and use a shot glass.
Yes!
And I literally with shots of juice.
Literally.
And that's how I got it down for the first month of me juicing, because I was like, nope, it's not nasty, but it's not tasty to me. Now, and plus we perfected our recipes, but at first I was just like, oh my God, I just gotta get it down. So I would
Yeah.
get my shot glass, sit there, take a shot. Okay, done with that shot, get another, take a shot until it was gone. And
Yeah.
that's how I got my juices down. Now I can just drink it out the cup.
Hmm.
But beforehand, I could only shot it.
So I'm so excited you said that for several reasons. And one, because when I saw the small one that you gave me, the two small ones, that's what it reminded me of. And I was like, a shot glass. I can do this. Thank you. And it's great that you said it, because oftentimes people think they just got, when you go in, you got to go and get the, regular 8-ounce glass. No, do what, sometimes you have to trick your psyche or your
Well,
body or whatever into things in order to make it stick. Because oftentimes if you go cold turkey, that'll be one of those ones where, okay, I got you for a couple of days if I make it that far, and that's it. So the fact that you said, break it down into what you can take. Shot glasses are a lot smaller. They're a lot more, manageable when it comes to looking at it and thinking, "Ooh, I can't do that." Versus, it's only a
Mhm.
shot. I can do that. Even if you're not a drinker, a shot glass is not that big, right?
no, it's
So
not.
that's great. Just get it started. As long
I
as you
mean,
get it started.
it is, you have to reprogram your subconscious
Hmm.
because the marketing industry has bamboozled us with a lot of the information that they told us was good for us. Great money, lots of money have been put behind it. So it's like you have to retrain the way you think and the way you see food. Yeah. Uh, Juicing really healthy for all, especially medical. I don't juice. I don't eat organic, but I also don't eat live to eat, live to eat. I eat to live, which is eating in moderation. I've never had or not had any health issues. Praise God.
So when it comes to is juicing really healthy for
Mhm.
everyone, it depends on what you're juicing. Just because some vegetables do have reactions with certain medications if you are taking medications because you're sick.
Hmm.
So you do have to be more careful when it comes to juicing on medication. But if you're solely holistic, as long as you know what you have and do the proper research on your vegetables that does not cause any like issues with whatever's wrong with you. Like with me, I have a thyroid disease. I have to limit as much kale that I use because kale will cause a reaction with my thyroid. So it
Wow.
just depends on having the knowledge of knowing when to juice, how to juice it, and what to juice.
Right.
Hmm.
And when it comes to just juicing, you're adding juices into your everyday life. So it's not like you're replacing it in front of a meal. No, you're adding it with your everyday life. If you're going to do a juice detox, if you are sick, like people like me, we do have to wait until we build up our immune system, be able to do a juice detox. So
That's good. I forgot my question.
Well, that was a very good question that she had, and we do advise everybody to juice it their way. So you have to have a why for juicing. You
Hmm.
have to have a why for juicing. So if you're juicing to reduce your blood pressure,
Hmm.
drink juices that's going to help reduce your blood pressure.
Right.
If you're juicing because you have chronic migraine, you have migraine headaches, you juice for that reason. So
Hmm.
that's why we really don't tell people how to juice
Hmm.
unless you are a client of ours. And then we will coach you through not only the juicing process, but we'll coach you through the clean eating process. So as you are healing your body, you're shedding the weight because we're teaching you how to eat. We're getting
Hmm.
you on a holistic journey, helping you change that mindset of the way you see food, showing you what is really good and what don't even touch.
yeah.
Hmm.
And all of it is a process. Like just like with the shot glasses with the juices, I had to trick my mind to do the clean eating and eat the foods that were required by me to make sure I get healthy. At the beginning, like I did not like spinach, and now I can eat it. I would have
Mhm.
to wrap my spinach in a little cheese ball to eat the spinach. That's what I had to do to get it down. So it's like
Gotta
when
do it.
you got to do it. So whenever it comes to, if you can do it, if you not do it, what's good for you, don't compare yourself to how
No,
other
no.
people do their health journey or how other people can easily do this.
Hmm.
I videoed myself when I first did my health journey, and I can't eat an avocado. I smelled it, I licked it, I was like, I cannot do it. But somebody else, they could just eat an avocado straight out the little
Listen,
shell like it's
love it.
nothing. And it's like, I'm like, dang, I had to realize, like, I'm not them. I don't have the taste palette they
Mm.
haven't been through. I've been through. They have
Hmm.
grew up on the same foods that I grew up on. So it's like eating how you eat to get nutrients that you need.
Right.
So when it comes to having your journey, it's not on how somebody else did it, how easy somebody else did it. It's basically what's good for you, and you make ways to get it down.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really brings to light staying in your own lane. You have to stay in your own lane when it comes to um being on this type of journey, because like you said, everybody's reaction is different, everybody's palates are different, everybody, there we go. Yes. This is the one that was in the store time. I said, I want to try that out. I don't want to.
Well,
And really, you said, what was it that brought you to the store? I think you said it was just, you were just driving by or something,
I
right?
was driving by and I saw someone put some balloons out, and I live in a neighborhood, and I'm like, okay, let me just go, and I'll go and do my errands, and on my way back, I'll just stop into the store. And that's what I stopped into the store. And y'all, I was not sick. Like I said, I don't have a sensitive body, but everything that she was doing to heal her body, I adopted it as well. And when I adopted it, I healed parts of my body that I didn't even know was sick, because I had like knee pain, I had ankle pain, and I had back pain. I just chalked it up to me getting older. You know, arthritis is setting in, because I actually went to, I'm a veteran, so I went to the VA hospital, because I'm thinking, okay, all that junk I did in the military, maybe my knee is finally catching up with me.
Right.
Went there, they said, oh no, you just getting arthritis, it's just degenerative. I'm like, okay. No, it wasn't. Wow. It had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. And it's just once I changed my lifestyle and the way I ate, that weight just melted off. And I was happy in that size. I'm a nice size 12 in there. When I tell you I was happy with my size, I was happy with my size.
Wow.
And I'm even happier now, though.
Listen, I would be too.
Look, I am not complaining. Look, I'm not complaining about the size that I am now. The weight just melted off. My body said it had no use for it anymore. Yeah, it really did. It had no use.
And oftentimes, and I'm glad you brought that up, because oftentimes, because I remember hearing this some time ago, our body, that's a reaction to trying to adjust, is the gaining of the weight. Our body gains weight and holds stuff. So like you said, your body didn't need it anymore, so it let it go. I'm ready for mine to do some letting go.
You ready for it to let go, girl?
Be careful what you say, though, because I was at a point in time, I'm like, dang, stop melting. I just kept melting and melting. I was skipping sizes.
Yes.
I literally skipped the size 8. I'm like, I went from a 10 to a 6.
Wow.
Like, oh my gosh, stop. It's too much for me right now. So be careful what you wish for when you go on this journey.
I can safely, I'll look still like a regular person as long as I don't get to a 10. I've been a 10 before, and it looked like my head was too big for my body.
And that's what that was my fear as well. But when you are healthy inside, you're going to be healthy on the outside, because you're doing it naturally. There is no toxins, no medicine that's taking it. No, there's none of that. Because I was concerned about that too. And I was like, let me know if I start looking sick. Let me know if I start looking sick. I've never looked sick.
Nice.
Yeah, never felt sick or anything. I just feel very, very healthy. And one of our other clients, I sent you her before and after picture. She used to always tell us, I'm coming for y'all. I'm coming for y'all.
Yes.
When she got there, she was like, I didn't really think I was going to get there.
Like you said you was coming.
You said you was coming, so join the club. Join the club. Yeah. Because on that, my picture, I was a comfortable size 12, as I said, and on the picture in the black, I'm a comfortable 4'6".
Wow, really?
Okay, that's our client. She said she was a size 16. She's a 16 on the left, and she's an 8 on the right. And if you see, that is 7 months of working with us.
Wow.
And she followed the program. I ain't gonna say to the T, because she lives in New Orleans. So sometimes, boy, we have to break that mindset. Sometimes she needed a little bit, because it was hard being around all that good tasting and smelling food. But she got right back on, because it had become a part of her lifestyle.
And that actually happened to a friend of mine before he passed away. He was a vegetarian, and he didn't juice a lot, but he did do some. And whenever he would step outside of that, because he had gotten so used to it and eat regular food, or the stuff that I normally would eat, he would always get sick and his body be like, so we don't do that, right?
Yep. Your
Yeah.
body will let you know it.
Yeah. So let's discuss, or I'm gonna let you discuss. Because I remember when I asked you when you said juicing, I said, oh, okay. I can't even think of the word now. What was the word I used? And you said, that's not the same.
Oh, you said, I think you said blend.
Blending.
Yeah, you said I have.
So so I'm pretty sure, Jasmine, you've seen this facial expression on her probably for another reason. But when I said, oh, okay, so I can blend it, and she was like, no, like, oh my God, that's not the same. So explain to us the difference between the two.
So juicing and blending, they're different. They're done with different machines. Yes, you can create juice out of a blender, certain types of blenders, but you have to go and do some extra stuff to extract the juice from what you've blended.
And also separate the fiber.
And then you have to separate the fiber to just get the juice. Well, juicer is just the juice. What it does, it takes the vegetables, the produce, whatever you put in there, and it extracts the insoluble fiber from it and leaves you just with the juice and the soluble fiber. That's it. But when you blend, what you're doing, you're cutting up the fiber inside of the with the juice. So you're cutting it up versus pressing it and just extracting the juice.
And then another difference when it comes to juicing versus blending, you actually preserve more live enzymes in your juice when you're using an actual juicer. The heat from the blender that is happening because it is rotating so quickly, it kills some of those live enzymes. So juicing is a more concentrated version for you.
And if you're healing, you want to heal some of that damage, you want to juice. You want to have as many live enzymes as possible.
Yeah. And another difference, a lot of people tend to get this one confused. Another difference between juicing and blending is blending can act as a meal replacement because it has fiber in it. Juicing is not a meal replacement. The only time you want to go without eating with juicing is if you're doing a juice detox to where you're only doing like juice and water. But that's again for people who have immune systems that can handle that. Not everyone can do a juice detox off the bat. So meal replacement is blending, not meal replacement is juicing. And a ton of people get that confused. So I definitely want to make sure I said that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you did, because I was one of those that didn't want to juice because I thought it was the same as blending, meaning the meal replacement end of it. And was like, so yeah, I like to eat.
I like to eat too.
And my body shows it. And so, yeah, how is that going to work? And I've often thought about that because I haven't seen, and maybe because I didn't really do in-depth research on it because of my thoughts on it, anybody really break down the difference and explain when they talk about juicing on the infomercials. And I guess because they only have so long of a time to talk, I haven't seen anybody break it down that way to where people understand, like you said, blending, meal replacement, juicing
is an addition.
Yes. It's just a way to get your raw fruits and vegetables. That's just, if you're not going to eat a whole plate full of
raw carrots,
raw spinach, raw kale, raw collard greens, raw mustard greens, if you can't eat raw stuff, then juice them. And most people don't eat raw.
No.
No.
I'm one of them.
But that's where all the nutrients are at, in the raw.
Wow. Interesting. And I'm definitely wanting to and I'm pretty sure we're gonna be in touch because I'm gonna be in the group with Michael, because I don't know if his gut is more holistic than mine, but yeah. And I enjoyed the samples that you gave me. So that was a lot for me, was always trying to figure out, what is it going to taste like? What is it going to smell like? Is it going to, make me cross-eyed? Like you said, some people have different reactions to different stuff, but I pretty much eat everything with the exception of what I'm allergic to. How hard was it for you? And I know you said you were juicing already, Latisa, but to adapt fully the change when you were seeing or looking at the changes that were happening with Jasmin once she started?
So for me, it wasn't too difficult to start juicing or to adapt because I was just trying to help Jasmin out. Everything that I was doing was to help her because I couldn't do anything about the pain. And it was like I'm just watching her and I was helpless. So I'm researching, I'm finding holistic practitioners, I'm watching documentaries, I'm doing everything. And so as I'm doing all this research, I start implementing the stuff myself because I'm like, I can't tell you to do something that I'm not willing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my way of saying, come on, Jazz, I'm gonna do this with you. Let's get on this holistic bandwagon together.
Baby.
Actually been trying to get me on the holistic life, but I was like, I'm not ready to give up everything I like. I wasn't ready. And it wasn't until I literally got into a hopeless state of mind that I was just meant to be sick. I could not see past the next day, like literally crying every day just because of what my situation was. That's when I was like, whatever, I'll do whatever it takes. And that's literally what I did. When I went to the doctor, she told me what I had to do. I only had one requirement, and she said, I don't care. And I did whatever she wanted me to do.
Ask her what her requirement was.
I was just gonna say, do I want to know? Can we put that on air?
We're gonna ask her what her requirement was.
Okay. So my requirement was marijuana. It was the only thing that numbed me enough to pretend, basically. Being in chronic pain 24/7, you become very irritable. You become very mad at the world, just not a good person because you're just in so much pain. And it's literally your body fighting itself. And then with you not knowing anything about it, the doctor's telling you this is just your body. Your body is just fighting itself. That's all that is. And there's nothing that's going to happen. It's just always going to be that way. Mm-hmm. It was just like, man, look, I just need to numb everything, the pain, the mental pain, everything. And to be able to function on it like a regular person. And that's what it did for me. I was able to do everything. Like it even got to a point to when I was working, because I did have to stop working. But when I was working, my boss, I had to tell them like, look, the only way I'm going to be able to work is if I smoke. I was an esthetician. Well, I am an esthetician. So, and I'm an eyelash extension specialist. And I would... Yeah, and so doing tedious work with tweezers directly close to someone's eye, and there was points to where my hand would lock up. Literally, while I'm like this with the tweezers, my hand will lock, and I have to struggle to open my hand, and that put me in a very bad place too, because like I'm a teacher of eyelash extensions. I was a master stylist. Like it was nothing for me to do eyelash extensions, but for me to like freeze up to the point to where I couldn't move, I'm like, look, this is the only way I'm going to be able to come to work. Mm-hmm. If y'all want me to work, and it was like, okay, as long as you don't smell like it, as long as you don't act like it, as long as you don't look like it, you know, it's for medical purposes. I said, yeah, I'm only doing this because I can't function anymore. And they was like, okay, just as long as I get no complaints. And I was able to work for about another month and a half. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it was just too much because it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Mm-hmm. But my doctor told me I can keep that. And she was like, it's not going to help you. It's only going to numb me. I said, that's all I need because I trust this right now. I lost all trust in doctors, all trust in medicine. Like I said, I was very hopeless. And that's the only thing I trusted with for my body to keep me functioning. Mm-hmm. And she was like, yeah, I'm fine with it. I said, cool. And I'll do whatever you want me to do. You want me to do what? Take out this, take out that. Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. And just so you all know, she took out what she had to take out to heal. Mm-hmm. But after she healed her body, she was able to incorporate a lot of the things that she put on time out. Mm-hmm. She was able to incorporate them back in her body. And
so like one of the things I couldn't do is I couldn't have tomatoes and sugar. And the reason I can't have tomatoes is just because it has sugar in it. And so a lot of foods, especially being from New Orleans, we do a lot of tomato-based recipes. Mm-hmm. And that's basically how I cook, is a lot of New Orleans food. And I had to learn how to do everything without tomatoes. And I'm just like, man, granted, it was good because I know how to cook, but it was a struggle. And now I'm able to cook all my tomato foods, but I actually don't really want them as much. The things that I had to take out to heal myself, I don't even want them that much unless I just start eating them just because they're there. Mm-hmm. Then my body's going to create a want and a fake need for what it is. But I don't even care to have a lot of the things that I used to eat or that I had to take out.
And we eat pizza, hamburgers.
Yeah.
You know, we eat that
That
stuff.
steak he was talking
That
about.
steak, you couldn't eat that.
Well, you
Wow.
don't.
I don't eat it, but yeah, but still,
Mhm.
you only have to do that for 3 months. At a minimum 3 months until your body heals itself. And
Mhm.
only you know when you're ready to move to the next stage. You know,
Okay.
when you're done. You're good at looking at the mirror and say, "Yeah, I like her.
Mhm.
I like her. I'm good." Only
Mhm.
you know when that is. You know, but we always tell our clients, just give us 3 months, and they look at it like 3 months. You mean I can't do this? I can't do this? I said, let me tell you this. You give us 3 months, we giving you back the rest of your life.
That's it.
3 months.
That's it.
Yeah,
You're
look
gonna
how
have to
long.
give up something to get it.
And I
Yes,
literally have my life back
literally.
on every aspect of life. I have that back
And
and
some.
more.
Yeah, and some.
Have you been to we'll get to your have you been to a doctor since?
Medical doctor.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me tell you about the medical doctor experience. Because this was I got my issues with medical doctors. So I took her away from her rheumatologist because we had to make that choice. The rheumatologist wanted to put her on more medicine.
After I told her I was doing better, after she seen that I was doing better, after the blood work said I was doing better, she said, "Okay, we're gonna put you on more medicine to monitor it."
And I'm like, Jazz, when we left the office, I said, Jazz, we got to make a choice. We got to either do the medical route, or we're going to go all full blown holistic, because we can't straddle the fence. They're going to contradict each other because they're going to want to see the progress of the medicine. And we can't do that. And so she said, I want to go holistic. Fine. Stop that. Well, I still needed to get referrals so she can continue to do the physical therapy. So I took her to her regular doctor, her primary care. I said, give her a total workup. I want her blood work. I want everything. And basically what I was looking for was her RA test results, her thyroid test results. I'm looking for all the things that they came back and said she was positive.
Which, by the way, my doctor was questioning if I was even diagnosed with RA after being diagnosed by two different types of doctors. She was like, "Are you sure? Because these test results don't
Came back
show
zero.
RA or
Zero. They wasn't
anything."
even on the scale.
That's
Nothing.
awesome.
It shows like she's never been sick because of the healing work that she had done. And he's like, okay, he wouldn't give us another referral to the physical therapist unless we go back to the rheumatologist. I'm like, but she's gonna want to put us on medicine. He's like, well, that's the only way I'll give you a referral. So wait a minute. You see her test results. You see there is nothing, but you still saying I need to go back to a rheumatologist because she had a test result that said she was positive, even though it's showing negative now.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, we have to go to a total different doctor and just get a total new workup, and we will monitor with them, and we won't even tell them you were sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only way we're going to get an unbiased opinion, because right now her medical records are like this thick of all the years that she's been sick. Okay.
You're right.
Of all the years she has been sick, and that the medicine that has been put in her body. Of all the years.
It wasn't working. Okay,
No.
so Miss Iris has a question. If a person is pleased with themselves, eat fresh veggies, fruit, and steamed food, and have no health issues, is there a need to juice?
No, no, she's good.
Good.
She's taking in all the nutrients she needs. Her body's not reacting to anything negatively. She's good. You don't have to do nothing else. Her
Nice.
routine works for her body,
Yeah.
so she's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Juicing is mainly for people who don't get the necessary nutrients, and that's most people don't eat raw. So that's where a lot of juicing comes into play.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Let's see where we are on time. Oh, awesome. Okay, so the next alva, we are going to talk about new beginnings.
Yes.
Because somebody on here has one. Well, actually, both of y'all, because that was a new beginning for you too, Jasmin. Going from diving deep into the holistic route to heal yourself. And then for Miss Latisa, Miss Shy, You got some things going on that I remember you saying that were new for you, right?
Yes, yes. I'm stepping into a new world. I've been employed with corporate America for the last 20 plus years working in IT. And because of Ms. Rona, she has ended that for me. And I've made the decision that I will not be going back into corporate America right away. I am going to pursue my gift and let my gift take care of me.
Nice.
And I have discovered my gift a few years ago. And I've just been, I've been straddling the fence.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in corporate America and I'm dipping and dabbling in my gift, taking
Mm-hmm.
my time, just putting everything in place. And my husband would always tell me, he said, Latisa, corporate America is holding you back.
Wow.
Once you let corporate America go, you're going to soar. And I'm like, I like the consistency. I
Mm-hmm.
like the security. I like the steadiness of
Mm-hmm.
corporate
Same
America.
like when I was sick.
Yes, I like that as corporate America. But you know what? Like I said in the beginning, it's not going as planned, but it's going as is designed.
Mm-hmm.
And it is designed right now for me to share my gift with the world. And so I'm starting a new journey. I'm a grief coach, and my journey started about uh, 9.5 years ago when my son was murdered.
Wow.
He was murdered, and that took me on a very dark path, a
Mm-hmm.
very, very dark path. And it took me a while to come back from that. But when I did make the decision to do something different, like Jazz made that decision to try the holistic route,
Mm-hmm.
I made the decision to do something different. I discovered my gift to inspire and to help people to heal. And so I have chosen to launch a new TV show called Overcoming and Becoming that will be airing next month. And it's really going to be about helping America,
Mm-hmm.
helping those that have access to the show to heal some of the wounds of the past.
Nice.
Because when you heal the wounds of the past, it allows you to become the person, the woman, a man that you were created to be.
That's it.
That's it. It's just the wounds are covering it up. The wounds are covering up your gift. The wounds, limiting beliefs, all that stuff is being covered up. And when you heal all of it, you get it off, baby, you get to shine and your light just shine as bright as it possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And your gift is now impacting the world.
Yeah.
And so that's my thing. I am truly trying to impact the lives of others now with my gift.
Awesome. I love it. So when you said it took you a while to come back, what was trying to see which question I want to ask first. What were some of the things that made you know, okay, wait, I ventured into the dark side and I kind of don't want to be here? What were some of
Mhm.
the things that were going on or that you were doing or not doing that let you know that I don't want to do this?
What was I doing? Basically, what I was not doing, I was not allowing myself to feel. That's
Mm,
what I wasn't doing.
the
I
blockage.
was trying to avoid feeling that loss. I was trying to avoid the emptiness. I was trying to avoid the pain. So I kept myself distracted in any and everything that I can do.
Hmm.
And it was easier to do that because I love to dance. I'm a dancer. I'm a two-step. I'm a swinger. I'm a West Coaster. I dance my butt off. If I wasn't dancing, I was teaching dancing. If I
Hmm.
wasn't teaching, I was competing in dance. So I had all types of things to keep me distracted.
Hmm.
But baby girl decided she wanted to go to college. And when she went off to college and I was at home by myself, I lost interest in everything, even dancing.
Hmm.
And so it's like that was my Rona back then.
Hmm.
Sat
Wow.
with myself. And I
Hmm.
had to finally face it. And it was like, I was just so tired of being sad. I
Hmm.
was so tired of crying. I was so tired of being lost. And it's like, I prayed and say, look, I need to do something different. Help me.
Hmm.
And then the help just started coming to me because I asked. But I didn't ask before.
Hmm.
I just didn't want to feel.
Hmm.
And now I asked. And what happened because I asked, I had to feel it.
Yeah,
Because you can't heal what you refuse to feel.
that's it. That's it. It's just not possible. And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. When you want something, you're gonna have to give up something, or something is gonna have to be done in order for that transformation to
Yes.
take place. And that was a transformation coming from the darkness back into the light, Carol Ann. That's a transformation. You got to cross a bridge. You have to do some things. So, that's
Yeah.
it. You can't heal what you refuse to feel. And it just has to be done. And I remember dealing with that when my brother passed. And then what 6 months? I think it was about 6 months after that, my best friend passed. And
Mm.
then 6 months after that, the guy that I was dating passed. So it was like
Bam, bam, bam.
the numbness. I
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't
Yeah.
want to think. I don't want to nothing. I don't want to know that I'm me. I don't nothing. I want none of that. And I dove into working,
Yep.
doing stuff, doing the modeling, the everything, working behind the scenes. I was helping behind the scenes. I was in this. I was over here doing that. I was doing that. And really, that's when I took my break that I just came back from. It was all of that I didn't feel,
Yes.
plus
Yep.
what at that time was going on in my family, because I can't stand for my family to be in disarray, and it was at the bottom of the barrel, at the top of the list of disarray, and I just couldn't take it, and it was like, okay, you know what, I gotta shut down. I can't.
Mm.
And I had to do that. So yeah, I've definitely been there before. And still, and I'm the one that has started. I even pushed my mom and my brother to get um counseling, because we never did. My
Right.
brother and my dad passed away a year apart, literally a year apart from each other, and nobody has said anything.
Yeah.
Oh, they kind of tiptoe around it. We all do. And so I was like, you know what? It's got to be done, because when you hold that in, you miss a lot of stuff.
Oh,
And then,
you.
like you said, yeah, it causes you to react a certain way. You start getting angry. You're
Mhm.
tired all the time. I was
Mhm.
I was tired a lot, not just because I had my hands in a lot of stuff, but like mentally, I was mentally exhausted.
Yeah. When you refuse to feel it, it gets stored in your body.
Mm,
And it creates itself. It comes back as pain, it comes back as inflammation, it comes back as weight, because we refuse to feel it. You
mm,
have to allow yourself to feel. And what we've done over the years, I mean, and I was no different. A lot of the things that I was grieving for, or was grieving at that time, was not just his death. I
mm,
was grieving from the time when I was a little girl, the time when somebody made me feel a certain way, the time when my first baby daddy did something to me.
mhm,
I'm grieving all the stuff that I've never grieved. It's
mhm.
just that now it's an avalanche.
Yeah.
It's a volcano. All of it comes up at once. Because
Mhm.
if you think, they teach us everything, but they don't teach us how to grieve. And we're all going to grieve at
Yeah.
one time or
Something.
another. But you're never taught. So what happens when we experience those emotional losses, we
Mhm.
blow up and we're grieving everything at one time. And it can be overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I felt overwhelmed, and I felt like if I don't shut down, if somebody say something crazy to me, it's gonna be on and popping, and they world not mine. It was just a whole bunch, and I knew it was like one of those. Let me go, because I feel like I'm about to be out taken outside of who I know I am, and
Mhm.
so I had to go and readjust my mental. Um, And so let's talk about counseling, because you are a grief counselor, and like you said, you were grieving some stuff that happened from way back when, that what was more than just.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the different things that people can thank you can grieve from, because a lot of times people think it has to be something major that you grieve from.
Now, so just let me clear up. So I'm a grief coach, not a counselor. So I'm not
Coach,
a
okay.
therapist. I'm a true coach. And basically it's a big difference between a coach and a therapist.
Hmm.
It's catered to you, and it's your journey, not somebody else's journey. It's
Hmm.
action plans that help you get through the next moment.
Hmm.
So I just wanted to clear that up. And what was the question now?
Wait, I just want to speak on
Oh, some of the things you can grieve.
the
Okay.
woman who just posted grief can kill you. Grief
Mhm.
almost killed me.
Yeah.
So very similar, because my brother passed away.
Mhm.
I didn't deal with a lot of the issues that I had.
Yeah.
And I found myself, I shut down just like you, just
Mm-hmm.
like most of us, shut
Mm-hmm.
down to where I was not really who I was. I became kind of mean. I was always nice now, but I became mean,
Nice, nasty.
nice, nasty. Like, you good
Mm-hmm.
as long as you don't mess with me. If you mess with me, then
And
you
any
don't want
little
that to
thing,
happen.
any
Yeah.
little thing set
And
me off.
I found one of the things, I started being nasty to people in a way they didn't even realize I was being nasty to them.
Wow.
One of my issues were when I was about, because it happened, I was a freshman in high school. It was my junior year to my freshman year in college, to where, or sophomore year into college, where I realized I was using guys for the emotional factor that I lacked, because I did not want to feel my own emotions. And I didn't use them for all the things that most women use them for. I used them for their emotions. I wanted their emotions because I didn't have my own. I could not feel my own because it just was too much for me. And I wanted theirs. And then next thing you know, fast forward, me being sick, it's just like, man, I didn't deal with that issue. I thought I did, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't deal with that issue. And like grief, because I didn't feel nothing. I was so numb, my body made me feel it.
Mm-hmm.
The pain that I was feeling emotionally came out in my body, and it put me into that hopeless state to where I literally had to give my mother my prescription medications, because I was prescribed very, very high narcotics. Even to where Vicodin wouldn't do anything to me.
Wow.
Vicodin, I'm sitting here up walking regular, like I ain't even take a pill. You know, that'll knock a lot of people out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was afraid that I will overdose. And I'm just like, man, all this because of grief. Grief that is unresolved. I was grieving my old life, grieving my brother, grieving just everything that has happened to me at a point in time.
Yep.
It was just like, oh my gosh. And I couldn't take the pain. I just
Yeah.
could not take the pain mentally, physically. It was like, look, I really thought my days was coming to an end at a point in time. So it definitely can kill you. That
Yeah.
is so
Yeah.
true.
Lisa, you are so right in your comment just now. You are so
Yeah.
right. Grief is the cause of a lot of unfulfilled goals, desires, dreams. It is. It is the root. You know, a lot of people, they deal with the symptoms, but when you peel it all back, it's because they never really healed the wounds of the past. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, what are some of those things that people don't heal? Because the biggest misconception of grief is that it only happens when somebody dies.
Right.
No, that's when we feel all the grief from all the years that we never grieved.
Yep.
You grieve from any time you lose something that you love, your innocence, you know, your money, your
Your
job.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, if you love it, it's your responsibility to grieve it. You have a right to grieve what you've lost. But
Mm-hmm.
most of us don't. We hold on to those emotions because we were taught to be strong. You know,
Mm-hmm.
even as a little kid, they tell you, shut up, stop crying. No,
Mm-hmm.
kids know what to do. That's what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to cry and allow that stuff to come out so those emotions don't get bottled up inside of us.
That's it.
We have to allow it out. No, and people don't realize that loss is way more than just death.
Yeah.
We feel it. We feel everything at death.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that's the circle of life. We live and
Yeah.
then we die. It's the circle of life. We all gonna die at one time or another. But
Mm-hmm.
throughout the years, there's a lot of life challenges that happen. Some challenges, you know, they're like a blimp on a radar. You barely see them. And then there was those ones that's gonna take you down. And if you don't allow yourself to feel that loss of being down, what am I really losing? How am I really feeling? Who are you expressing your feelings to? It's
Mm-hmm.
going to hold you back in your growth. You're going to get stagnated.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to move to the next level, you got to you got to let yourself to let go of all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let go of the emotions. That's really what you're letting go of. You're letting go of the emotions, you know, because like when my son died, people was like, how you going to let him go? You know, I thought that's what I was letting go. I thought I was letting my son go. That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't what I was letting go. I was letting go of the emotions that was holding me back. The bitterness, the anger, you know, I was letting all that stuff go. Not my baby. My baby stays with me. But when nobody really teaches you that, that's all you know, because that's what we saw.
Yeah.
And we do what we see.
we do. And I'm fighting my computer right now. Sorry, y'all. Um, yeah, we do what we see. So with you being a coach, what would you, how would you, because even though it's different from being a therapist,
Hmm.
a lot of people couple them together like they do the juicing and the blending. How would you, I don't want to use the word coerce because it's not about coercing, but encourage people to talk to a grief coach?
You see, and this is one of the things I want to do with my show. I want to encourage people because grief is normal. You don't need a prescription
Hmm.
to grieve. You don't need a referral from an insurance company to say you can go ahead and feel better. This is your natural right. As human beings, we are supposed to feel. And my job as a grief coach is to encourage you to feel those emotions, to let it go, and go ahead and become that person that you were created to be. Because every challenge that comes into our life is meant to prepare us for something else.
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely.
most people hold on to the challenges and don't let it go. They don't let it go and they don't learn from it. It's okay, what was I supposed to learn from this?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I did the same, man. I was so in that rut where I was holding on to the challenges,
Mhm.
and it really wasn't until and that's another reason why I wanted to have you on here talking about new beginnings, because like you said, you're closer to 50 than you are 40. Well, so am I. And it wasn't until I got into my 40s after my divorce that I started realizing, oh wait, I need to let that go. It needs to be, instead of why me, for me, it was just, instead of asking why me, woe is me, I had to switch how I was looking at it. You
Right.
know, what am I supposed to learn from this? And making sure that I keep that as much as possible at the forefront of whatever was going on. Because even when I took my sabbatical or my break, it was the same thing. Yes, I was still grieving. Yes, I realized some of the stuff that I didn't feel, I needed to go on and feel that and cry that out and be done. But also, what do I need to learn from this? What does my takeaway need to be? Because I'm at a point now where I want people to learn and to be able to let go, like you said, and to flourish, because
Mm.
we got work to do. We're still here
Yeah.
and we have work to do, especially those of us who have learned, have taken the notes and highlighted this, and okay,
Right.
no, I don't need to take that with me, but I need to remind this or use this as a point of reference. We got work to do, even you, look here.
2020. I mean, that was one of the things Jazz and I talked about when we started learning. Because let me tell you something. I paid a lot of money to get this girl healthy. And I didn't just do it for her. I
Oh
paid
my
the same for me to do it so I can support her.
God. Hmm.
And when we were learning all this stuff about the holistic health journey, I'm like, why don't they tell us this stuff?
Hmm.
Why is this being kept to only a select few who can
Hmm.
truly afford to spend? There's not that I can even afford. I just had credit cards, but I was willing to put that bill. But I'm like, why is that knowledge only available to a certain few?
Hmm.
And that's one of the things that we say, each one teach one. When we learn something, we have something to give to somebody else, because there's somebody else who's struggling
Hmm.
with their pain, with their body, with their healing. They're struggling.
Hmm. Yeah. And don't even realize it, that it's as well, I can't say as simple as, because the journey is to a degree a struggle,
Mm-hmm.
because you're having to step outside of what is normal.
Yes, normal.
And
Get uncomfortable.
and
Get uncomfortable.
yeah, stepping outside that comfort zone. So you have to, and it causes you to have to truly take a look at you.
Mm-hmm.
you know um there's nothing wrong with and I had to learn that too, and I still kind of go back and forth with it, knowing that I'm flawed,
Mm.
right?
Perfect.
And because people will have you feel like, because like my face isn't clear. I have moles all over my face. I have moles everywhere. It's in my family. But for the longest time, I thought that was a bad thing. And I had to get over that when I was going through relearning me and all those things. Was that uh, loving myself, you know, trying to get unbruised from what I had learned or what I dealt with growing up, and the other things that have happened in my life. So Iris said, God bless you in your talent. Yes, it will make great room for you. That's God's work. It truly is. I thank God for my mom. She said in life, don't hold so tightly to anything or person so that when it leaves, it takes you with it. Woo,
That's a
that's
good
a
one.
word. She learned that after her youngest child was killed at 29, she grieved in a way. Uh oh, I lost it. She grieved in a way to share with others. Grief coaches needed in this day. Bless you. Definitely. But that's what I wanted to know. Before you got the idea to do the show,
Mhm.
how was it being a coach? Because we're taught to not talk about our family business,
Yes.
right? Even when I was talking to my mom about it and kind of broke down things that had been happening in her life, because at first she was like, I don't need no counselor. Yes, mom, you do. And I'm not saying it because you crazy, but I'm saying it because she hasn't felt.
Right.
Mom dipped herself into and I don't mean it in a bad way, but she submerged herself into things, doing things, and helping this person and being here like you said you did,
A
like I
coping
did,
mechanism.
to
Yeah.
keep from dealing with. And now nobody's in the house.
Yeah.
Dad's deceased, my brother's gone, my youngest brother's out the house now. My she took care of my she took care of Medea, so Medea's passed away, and now grandma is living with my uncle. So it's like,
She's by herself.
yeah, she's by herself. And part of it is like, trying to figure out, oh, what I do. So I talked to her, and at first it was like, well, I don't, and she brought that up. I was really surprised she did, but proud of her for it. And she said, we were taught to not talk about our business like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go because then I'll be talking about my family. And I was like, you need to talk about your family.
And you're right.
But it's not in a way that you're trying to be mean or rude, but you had a lot of stuff that has been happening in your life that you need to let go of. And sometimes you need that outside person to coach you through.
Exactly. It gives you a different perspective on the way you see things. Generally, when I first started my coaching business, I was working primarily with
Okay.
mothers who had lost their children. That's basically who I was working with at first. And just in the time that I was able to work with them, because I had walked their journey already, and they was like, okay, how can you be this person you are? And I can't tell you ever felt like me.
Mm-hmm,
And I say that's because I made a choice.
mm-hmm.
We all have choices. You can choose to stay where you at, or you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
choose to do something different. And so when I would share with them some of the things that helped me to change the way that I saw, like, of course, we all talk about gratitude, and gratitude is such a big thing,
Mm-hmm,
because it was when I started practicing gratitude and I looked at it from a perspective, I became grateful for the 19 years with my son,
mm-hmm.
because some mothers didn't get 19 days, 19 minutes, 19 seconds. So
19
that start changing my mindset. And when I would share a little the tips and things with the ladies that I was working with,
Mm-hmm,
to see some hope starting to come back into them, it was like, wow, I could really touch you.
mm-hmm,
And it was like, okay, well, let me try to go a little bit further, because one of the things that I was realizing, there is nothing I can do about your loss. I can't, you have to feel all this. But what I was really working with a lot of the mothers on was unresolved grief from all the years of past. They
mm-hmm.
had to deal with that stuff. That's what I ended up helping them with. The
Wow.
unresolved grief, because I can't do nothing about their child being gone.
Right.
You gotta walk that journey, you gotta feel that. But the unresolved grief is what we were working on. So I'm
Mm-hmm,
like, okay, well, there's so many other people that deal with unresolved grief that has not even lost a child yet.
mm-hmm,
So I changed my focus to help broader people, so that when we get to the point where we lose our children, or we experience a loss with our parents, our siblings,
mm-hmm.
we don't have as much grief pent up inside of us.
Right.
So we won't become overwhelmed. It
Mm-hmm.
makes it just a little bit more tolerable that we're only focusing on one loss at a time and
Mm-hmm.
not the years of loss
Yeah.
that we've experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. Again, I'm glad you brought that aspect up because it reminds me of right after my divorce. It was another one of those moments where Lisa said you're speaking a word. Yes, indeed. Where it was a compilation of I had a breakdown. I felt like I did anyway, but it
Mhm.
was a compilation of things that had happened in the past. Here I am at this marriage I've been in for 9 years. That didn't work. I felt like at the time that neither one of my dad or my sperm donor wanted me, so those didn't work. So that, compiled with some of the breakups that I've had, that I felt like I ain't do nothing wrong, I was a perfect one. But seriously, so really, so all that compiled together, and I found myself just again wanting to shut down and having all these myriads of emotion just come at
Mhm.
me all at once, and not knowing where to go, how to go, who can I talk to that isn't going to ridicule me for feeling this way? Who
Mhm.
will understand what I mean when I say I feel like crying, I feel like being upset, I feel like I want to go and bust somebody in their neck, I feel like the wind just blew and it changed directions, and I don't know how to feel about that. Like, who can I talk to help me kind of sift through and make sense of this, to where when I can feel like myself again. So that's awesome that you even brought that up, having more to deal with emotionally than just death, because
Yeah.
oftentimes we think it's just death that brings us to those points. And then for my people who look like me.
Yeah, yeah, my girl. Look, that was my next thing, but I say I'm gonna be good on this in this episode because I can go there. I can go there.
Go,
You want me to go there? So
go.
let me tell you something. Most of my clients were not African Americans.
I believe it. Yeah.
I had, and it's like, why are we not seeking the help? It's like, this is ridiculous. Even when I was doing, when I first launched, and I was giving away coaching sessions for free.
Wow.
I just needed you to answer a few questions and I would give you a coaching lesson for free. But most of the African Americans, they did not come seek help. And I know
That's
that
hurt.
is passed on by generational, the way we have been programmed. We have been programmed to be strong. We have been programmed not to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that was by design.
Mm-hmm.
That was by design, not by God's design,
Mm-hmm.
but that was designed by our slave owners,
Yeah.
because they told our mothers, if you cry, I'm going to sell this one.
That part.
If you act this way, I'm going to sell that one. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
sell you. You're going to lose more. So we
Mm-hmm.
have been conditioned and programmed to hold our feelings in. And what makes us human? Our emotions. So we've been dehumanized over the years. Over the years. And I'm telling you, you are human. You're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to feel.
Yeah.
It takes the generation to recognize this is an issue
Mm-hmm.
that we've been programmed for years. And now we have to take our right back, our right to be human back, and cry and feel this
Yeah.
so that we can progress, because they didn't want us to progress.
Yeah. And still
We're
don't.
in our place.
Yep. And still don't. That's why, and I really feel like, and that makes a lot of things make sense. That's why all this other stuff has been happening, a part of it. If we're not careful, we won't. We'll end up not speaking out because we're being bombarded with this killing and that killing and that killing, and nothing is being done. Y'all speak out. Go talk to somebody. We have a sister here that is a grief coach. Speak out. Go talk to somebody that can help you sift through and sort through your feelings. Because, like she said, we're human, regardless of what they're saying. We're more than 2/3 of a person. We're 3/3. We're a whole entire. I'm a whole in all of this. When my wig is right, I'm a whole entire person. Whole entire. This is a lot,
Yeah.
right? So, we're going to have. And last time I checked, when I heard that God had created people, right? And yes, no, we don't all look alike. But last time I checked, in fact, when I was in rehab from being hit by a car, a whole yes over chin, yes queen, a whole entire. When I was I was hit by a car several years ago, and when I was in rehab, I had to relearn how to walk, and that was over a New Year's Eve. And I remember people, talking about God doesn't exist and this, that, and the other. And I remember laying there thinking about that. And he showed me clear as day which Nobel Peace Prize winner took an egg and a sperm and created this.
Hmm.
The human anatomy has over 200 bones that break and mend themselves. When we're created, we have skin that
Yeah,
if you cut it,
it
it
was.
heals.
Yes.
We have eyelashes and eyebrows that, well, when I take these off, right? That were created when we were formed in the womb. No man did that. They copied, but they didn't do that themselves. They had to have something to go by, something
Right.
that God had already created. So you human, I don't care what color you is, but especially to you, human. And I deserve to have everything that you said that humans can have.
Right.
So talk to somebody. I'm just saying that's my 2 cents. Whew, that's good. A whole entire queen.
Yeah.
How
So
long
just
have you?
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I was just going to respond to Lisa. She's asked me when was my show going to be on. It's going to air in August. I don't have the exact date yet. I start taping next week.
I'm so excited.
But I will make sure everyone is aware. You can find me on Facebook at Latisa B.
Hmm. And then Jasmin, because I don't have your, excuse me, Facebook or Instagram. What is yours?
So mine's is Jasmine
Jasmine T.
Tia.
We're
Okay.
easy to find. Latisa B and Jasmine Tia. We're easy to find.
Okay. I'm the one with different stuff. Whatever. 'Cause when I was trying to tag you, I saw a lot of other Jasmines and a lot of other stuff, and I was like, yeah, so I would tag the wrong person just because, but I'll wait till my next show. Um, but yeah, that was what I was going to ask you too. Was that how long have you been a coach?
I've been a certified coach for a year, and I started basically just helping women after I released my first book about a year and a half, almost 2 years now. I released a book called The Resurrection: Life After the Death of Your Child.
Mhm.
And it's really a book to help mothers who are struggling to embrace their new lives, because it's a journey, and when you're going through that journey, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Nothing. And when I got to the point where I was just sick and tired and I was looking for stuff, what can I do? The resources I've seen out there, it was like, what is this? Where's the how? You telling me this is their story and this is the end, but how did they get there?
What about the middle? Mhm.
Exactly. So what I chose, I filled that gap. And I said, okay, if anybody's going through what I'm going through and they looking for a way to get out, I'm going to show you my how. This
Nice.
is what I did. So if you don't know what to do, you can try this. And I shared some of the
Yeah.
journey that we take that's common.
Yeah. So the book, how can people get the book? Because I need to get that for Mama. Her birthday coming up.
Yeah. You can go to latisabspeaks.com.
Another one.
Well, yeah, I'm also a keynote speaker. So I'm a professional speaker as well. This is all a part of my new beginnings, So this is one of my side hustles. I just been doing this.
That sleeve that you got on over there. Wait a minute, that sleeve. No, you wearing a sleeve. What else you got up under that sleeve of yours? You, Latisa.
Up my sleeve.
Get her, Jasmin. Get her.
Like I said,
That's why I say my mom be trying to react the ground. Get her, Jasmin.
I don't see myself the way other people see me because it's just me being me. And what I think is normal is really, it's different. I just do me. That's it. I do what I've been led to do. And I started a speaking journey about 6 years ago.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at.
That's awesome.
It's my gift. Like I say, I'm sharing my gift. I have the gift to speak, the gift to inspire, the gift to help people to move forward. I'm sharing.
And that's what I that's another thing coming out of this sabbatical that I have redecided to go full force on, because I started Mimi Speaks. Um really? People always want to call you. When I think about 2 years ago. But speaking, bringing awareness to the effects of in life after verbal abuse, because it's not talked about. And I was excited about it in the beginning, and came across one person who was like, and I was already teeter tottering, do I really want to get out there in front of people? Do I, it was all of that. And so I kind of did sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I would come across people who, after telling them what I've been through and what I've been told and, things like that, they were like, wow, you don't look like it. I was like, yeah, but, I dealt with it. Um, and so having that, like you said earlier, now I know I gotta do it. And that was one of the things. It was asking the question, okay, how am I supposed to come out of this? And it was like, Lord, what do you want me to do? Because leave it up to me, I'm gonna be in a corner somewhere
Yeah, like I was behind the scenes.
with some wine and
Yeah.
necklace,
Yes, yes, that's okay.
right?
That's okay. Let me tell you how things happen, Mimi, because I'm building out my show guest list. And
Okay.
I have a show that I want to do on good communication and verbal abuse. And guess who I'm just going to ask to be on that show?
Do I know him?
I think you may know them. I think you may know them.
I may know him.
Yeah, I think you may know her. I mean, she has a story to tell.
Yes, honey.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everything works the way it's supposed to work.
It does. And that's how remember we had the discussion at the store too, because you were like, I just saw somebody with some balloons and I wasn't even gonna come in here until later. Like, nope. That's why you were supposed to be here now. Imagine had she not taken those balloons out and set them out when she did.
Right. I would never seen this. I would never walk there.
Yeah.
I would never
And I
walk.
almost didn't go over there that day, because that's clearly on the other side of true Tarska. Look at God. I live on the other side from the store, and I'd always said that I wanted to go um to one of her sipping shops, but every time she had one was always during the time of my other show. So well, the show, well, same show, different station, but I had a different time. And so I never could go. I either had a show or a fashion show or something. I was always busy. And so when I saw that she was having it, I was literally like how I was in that store. Because she said something to me. I said, look, I ain't trying to be nothing. I ain't no model today. I'm not nothing. I ain't no radio host. I'm not nothing. I'm not even who I am. I'm Because for the longest time I sat in the corner for a reason. I just want to be there. I don't wanna be, who all the other things y'all know me to be. I'm just chilling. And then when you came out in your energy and all of that, and I was like, wow, I gotta have this. And even going, like I said, I thought I was gonna, take off another month, and then I could hear this other lady who's working my boards today in my face, like, no, I ain't gonna name no names, but Lisa. And then, and then I came across you, and it was like God was like, yeah, nah, you've
It's
had your time, and now it's time to go in full force, because like you said, we got some stuff we got to do with some people out there. You can't let this this moment and these times where people like us meet pass and not do something about it. So yeah, I'm grateful you saw the balloons. I'm excited. Thank you, Mika. That's my 999 girl. Um oh gosh, I lost my question that quick. But I'm excited about your new beginnings, because like you said, you're closer to 50 than you are 40. And oftentimes people think that once they get a certain age, that's it, time out. I don't have to do anything else. The children are grown and gone. They get lost because what else do I do? Oh yes, there we go.
That is me.
I love it. So I'm excited that you are on this new journey, and that you come on the show to talk about all it. before I say that, is there anything else up under your sleeve that you do that you ain't telling me about?
I'm pretty sure there's a thing or two up under there. You know, it comes out when it's needed. You
Jasmine,
know,
that's wow. What else she do? Do you fix cars too?
I've been known to change a tire or two or something. You know, hey, I'm a dad. My daddy, we call him the master blaster because he did everything, and he made sure if his girls wanted to know how to do it, they'd do it. So I can put up sheetrock, I can float, I can paint.
Wow. And see, I didn't have an option in that. I was automatically opted in. My dad was a military sergeant, and so I was the only girl, and there was no choice. Your choice was get your butt in there, or come on out here. He worked on his car religiously, even if it wasn't nothing that needed to be done. He was checking a belt, changing this, fixing that, unscrewing it just to see how to put it back on. And every time he did, guess who had to be out there with him? Not
Yeah,
in one of my three brothers, but me.
nah. So I guess I'm like that with the house, not the car. I can change my own tire, but that's
And
about as
see,
far.
that's me. I need somebody to come decorate. Like me in decorating houses, I'll
That's
look at the walls and be like, wow,
that's
a
the
serious
creative
white.
one. You talking about creativity? That's her. That's her. She paints. She draws. She does jewelry. This whole
Listen, and I'm about to get to that in just a few minutes because
creativity is.
I'm feeling some kind of way that I didn't include that in the let me wear one of your pieces on the show.
No, that's right, huh? We have to send you a piece.
How did you get into to making jewelry? Because you guys, along with the juice with us, like y'all are creating family legacies with these businesses. So how did you get into the jewelry making?
So I've always been a creative, eclectic type of person. And
Okay.
so I always like things that are not common. And before crystals and all of this stuff blew up, I was
Mm-hmm.
liking it. I was interested in it, but I didn't do it full force.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I got sick or when I just was truly, truly sick, I basically depended on my crystals a lot to help with some of my inner healing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just buying crystals at this time. So like I was still going to like the shows and all these things, the stores and buying crystals. And people always asked me, where do you get your crystals from? Where do you get your necklace from? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, such and such, oh, such and such. But like she said, I'm a creative. I do a lot of creative things, and arts and crafts is my thing. Anything arts and crafts, I see it, I can do it.
Wow.
Well, I was like, well, I can't work right now. Something to kind of look forward to doing. I can make crystal jewelry, and it's helping me in my journey to heal. So I'm like, oh, okay, that aligns with me. And it gave me a purpose again while I was sick because my
Mm-hmm.
purpose was taken away and it gave it back to me. And that's how I
Wow.
got into making the jewelry.
Nice.
And
And
then started with researching it because I'm like, look, I'm stepping into a new world. When you uncomfortable, right? You
mhm.
uncomfortable, you have all this negative energy start coming up. And I'm like, Jess,
Absolutely.
I need something to put this negative energy in check because
Mm-hmm.
I need all the positive energy. So she created this for me. This is a pyrite necklace,
Mm-hmm.
and she specifically put stones on here that's going to help me to keep the negative energy in bay, and that I always radiate that energy that you met. And when I
Nice.
tell you, it does everything. Anytime I go on an interview, anytime I have to speak, I'm gonna always have some piece of jewelry on to help me to keep the energy that I need to
Mm-hmm.
project so that nothing interferes with me. Always.
Yes. And
So
generally, whenever I do the crystal jewelry, I basically just assess the person. I give them questions and they answer the questions for me, and I
mhm.
find the perfect crystal that matches with whatever they need.
So do you have one that's the equivalent to this emoji?
Yes, black tourmaline. So black tourmaline, it basically blocks out others' negativity and negative energy while protecting your positive energy. So
Mm,
that was I was wearing that around the time when I was getting my diagnosis, just because I had invisible diseases. People didn't know what was wrong with me. It
mhm,
just I looked normal.
mhm, mhm,
And when you have an invisible disease, a lot of people like to give their opinions on why you feel how you feel, and
Mhm.
oh, you're too young to have knee pain, or you too
Yeah.
this, or you too
Yeah.
fit for this, and oh, you too this for that. And I was just like, y'all are contributing to my downfall by giving me your unsolicited, don't even
Yeah.
care opinions.
Right. Didn't
And
ask
so
for all
I
of
had
that.
to start wearing my black tourmaline. I was wearing it on it every day.
Mhm.
And to kind of protect me, and I'm trying to stay positive while also I don't want nothing they got to give me, because they're not gonna help the problem, so I don't want it.
Mhm.
And that's how I got that, and that's this emoji right there. That
Yes. I need to be smudged in that. No, I feel like it sometimes anyway, especially when I initially took the sabbatical. I felt like everything was just coming at me at once. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. That just came to me when you started. I was like, that's like one of my favorite ones. I just want to throw it up on people. So how can, since I know the pieces apparently will have to be like specifically for a person, right?
Mhm.
Um how can someone get in touch with you for if they wanted to place an order or if they wanted a piece?
So they can go on Facebook or Instagram at the Eartha Joe collection. And it's Eartha, like regular Earth, and then the A at the end. And then
Like
J.
Eartha Kit?
Yes, like
Yes.
Eartha Kit. And
Okay.
then J-O. And so you go on there, and it has some of the pictures of some of the things that I do. And because everything is custom order, I don't just have inventory to lay out. I only
Okay.
have inventory if I'm going to like a vendor booth or a show or something like that. Other than that, people tell me what they want and we create it together. So you get to
So
pick everything that you want.
and it's Eartha Dao.
Earthojo. Oh,
A.
Earthajo. Earth.
Eartha,
Oh,
like Eartha Kit, and then put J-O at the end.
J-O.
Yes, the Eartha
Oh,
Joe collection.
okay.
Yes.
Together.
And put all of that together.
One word.
Okay.
And then put
Okay.
the word the in front of it, THE.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, giving me nuggets and stuff.
Well, I
Oh,
told
laughing
you, all
effect.
right. I
Yeah.
told you together we are juice with us, but individual we're
Well, I
all
was gonna hit up individual anyway. And I didn't realize, I should have known just by your personality, but I should have known that it was gonna be more interesting than what I had in my head.
Yes, yes. And
But because your husband has something too, right?
yeah, we have a glass business. So we do auto, home, and commercial glass. So if your window panes break, yeah, we black owned franchise that we will replace your windshields, do your back window, side windows, your house windows. If you own a business, your
Okay.
storefront, replace that as well.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, we're a house of entrepreneurs.
Yes, that legacy building thing is all off in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool beans. So let's see. Let's see how much time we got. Oh, we got a few more minutes. Any more nuggets y'all want to drop on me? Oh, before we go, so you have a glass on business, and what is the name of that so we can
Glass
post it?
Doctor of Central Houston.
Who?
Glass Doctor of Central Houston. Glass Doctor of Central Houston.
And do you guys go everywhere?
Yes, we're in the basically in the Houston area, not depending on the size of the job, whether he go far out past spring, but generally it's going to be inside of the Beltway area. And if you're
Okay.
down south, he'll go down as far as League City.
How long have you had the business?
2 years.
mhm.
Yeah, 2 years.
So all of this is fresh.
Yes, everything is fresh. New beginning.
How
New
was it when you started, or when he started, or when y'all started the glass business? What was it like?
Girl, there's a roller coaster. I ought to grab him in here because he just came home. Roller coaster, like any business, you're gonna have those ups and downs. Why did I do this? Why
Mhm.
did I do? Because he left corporate America. He was an accountant in corporate America.
Wow.
It was like, that layoff again. Same thing,
Mhm.
like he got laid off, and it's like we always wanted to do a business, and he's like, well, I say this is the perfect time if we're gonna do it. You laid off, got the time. Let's invest in a franchise, and we did. We invested in a glass franchise, and something that he actually hires a lot of people to train to give back to the community. We're actually located in Third Ward. So we
Mhm.
went
Oh,
in the city.
nice. Okay.
Yeah, we went in the city to service our people.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And that's what, because I wanted to, I actually had thought he was going to be on it, but I know a lot of times men don't want to, no, baby, you go ahead and do that.
No,
I've
my
had that happen a lot.
no.
So when you said, oh, yeah, me and my daughter, I was like, man, you're not going to participate, right? But okay, we going to roll with it. We going to roll with it. Um, Oftentimes people don't, or like for some, the husband is more interested in having, it being an entrepreneur than the wife, and sometimes it's vice versa. So but this was a mutual agreement type thing when you did it, right?
He was the entrepreneur. I didn't really have the entrepreneur spirit. I was looking for the investment. I mean, I'm like, if
Okay.
I can invest in the stock market, I can invest in our own business.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I saw it. It's an investment. He has an entrepreneur spirit. He's a hustle. He did this,
Mm-hmm.
but that was something that I had been claiming for years, that I'm not an entrepreneur. And when you claim something, that's what you become. So when I changed my mindset, when I
Yeah.
changed the words that I was coming out of my mouth, I no longer say I am not an entrepreneur, because I am an entrepreneur. I've been told so many times by Latisa, you're a hustler. And I'm like, I am. It's like, yeah, you're a hustler. You doing this, you doing that. That's what hustlers do. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm just doing what I normally do. So
Yeah.
I am an entrepreneur. It's just I'm learning the back end to put everything together. And
Nice.
that's what we've been doing. So it's been easier as we went along with our businesses because of what we've done with our glass business.
So what you learned in that, it prepped you for what you were going through, or for your own.
Literally, we changed Juice With Us in the business within 2 weeks, because it started, Juice With Us started just like this. We were interviewed on a radio station, on a live
Wow.
broadcast like this. And there was so much interest and so many questions, and so many people was asking us, stuff. And it was like, well, hold up. Let's just start this Facebook group. We start the Facebook group that literally blew up like
Wow.
in a week.
Nice.
And like, okay, well, Jazz, let's go ahead. We did the LLC, we did the bank account, the EIN, we did the coaching program put together, and we started helping people.
Wow. Nice.
It's just like that. So, but if I hadn't had the knowledge that I had developed over the years, it
Mm-hmm.
would have been easy for us to start Juice With Us LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I need that.
Well, and just to give you another, okay, I'll give you another tip up under my sleeve. Um, My latest book is actually called Unleash the Woman Inside of You: 7 Essential Ingredients. That's my latest book. So it's right here. It's actually on Latisa B Speaks as well.
Mhm.
It's on Latisa B Speaks as well. And this book is actually written as a result of dealing with my grief coaching clients who were dealing with so many issues from their past,
Mhm.
helping
Nice.
them to heal those issues. And all of a lot of the topics come, and it's right there, and it's everyday stuff. This is what we need to heal ourselves so that we can become the woman that's sitting inside of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The woman that oftentimes we feel her, right?
Yes.
Because God has a tendency to awaken things in us, whether we like it or not. He gives us hunger pain, so to speak, for certain things. Because,
Mm.
like for me, I had dreams years ago of me being a speaker.
What you say?
I was not trying to be in front of people. I was not, right? And so for the longest time, I did the running away. I did, being told that I was never going to be anything. Shoot, I started believing it. So
Yeah.
why would anybody want me to come and speak? You know, and so for the longest time, that corner thing. I'm notorious for sitting in the corner, right? Working the back ends. I will go and work your lighting for you. I'll work in the background for you. I'm good for that. And somebody asked me to be a greeter one day, and I went begrudgingly. And then after that, every time I turned around, the more I would try to stay behind the scenes, the more somebody would, oh no, Mimi, I need you to come, or Miriam, I need you to come. And then the modeling started. And I remember after a while, well, no, I became a co-host on a radio show. And I just went there because the guy was like, well, who wants to run my show for me tomorrow? I do. Everybody in the room raised the room. I was the only one that showed up. Wait a minute. What's this? And I got there and I loved it. And over the course of, it's been, this month makes 3 years.
Wow.
Here I am, and I'm so grateful that I've come across people who are willing to push and pull me to, don't do that, do this, try this. When I did it, this, that sort of thing. So here I am at this, and over the last year, I want to say, it has gotten to the point to where I can hear him say, "Okay, you've been playing, and I need you to go full force." and
Yeah.
and that was one of the things in this sabbatical that I had to, I kind of sort of tussled, but I know that, I have to do it for various reasons. But it was like, no, go full force. You learned. You keep second guessing, because even doing this today, this is new. I've done the show on another platform. So coming to this was new, and I've had a headache all day because my nerves just got bad.
Mhm.
And when my engineer, who's working in the background, called me, was like, "Okay, well, I'll do this for you," and I was like, "Whew, thank you," because I was over here tripping. Um, Even though I know I still have to learn it, it was still the second guessing and the, that sort of thing, and realizing at the end of the day, he got you in everything that you do, and he'll make sure, and I'm so grateful God makes sure that he places us where we need every time, even when we
Time.
don't see it, even when we
Every
don't catch it,
time.
as long as we're open
That's
enough
the
to
key word.
glean. Yeah.
That's the key word. Open. And a
As
lot
long as,
of
yeah,
time.
as long as we're open enough to glean where we are, we'll be able to make it in those places where we say, "Well, I want to do that." Well, in order to do that, you got to go through something to get there.
Mhm.
And a lot of people want to do that microwave situation and skip from A to Z. Nah, honey, you gotta go through Y. You gotta go through W. You gotta go through
Right.
element OP.
That's
You
right.
you gotta go through it, because there's people in that route who we're supposed to meet, who we feed, and there's people that are gonna feed us.
Yeah. I like to say there's a lot of people who want full-time benefits but only want to do part-time work.
I didn't want look, my lazy butt. I didn't want to do part
Yeah,
time.
we
What you
don't want to
talking
do
about?
part-time work. We
Can
just
I
want
just wake up and be there?
right. We want to skip. No, there's lessons learned in the journey, and you're going to need those lessons to prepare you for where you're going. So if you skip all that, you're not going to get the results you want when you get there, because you
Okay.
skip the part. That's those the privileged people. The people that are privileged, when
Mhm.
they get to a certain part in their life and the first challenge that hit, they don't know how to do it because everything's been always given to them.
Yeah.
They've never really had to work and struggle and put stuff together and learn some of those valuable life lessons because it's always been given.
Yeah. So they missed all the
They
other stuff
miss.
that they would
Right,
have otherwise retrieved.
right, right.
Okay, cool
And there's
beans.
nothing
So
wrong with being privileged now. It's nothing because some people grew up privileged. Yes, she did do that.
Because she tried to plug me just now. Got a shot at me. I will say I was privileged, and I thank you for everything that you've given me, because I
I
do not
did.
want that struggle life.
Okay, thank you.
I am
And so she was able to give you that though, and you did, but you didn't turn out like some of the other ones, because I've seen the other ones who had everything given, and then when something happened, they want to take off my wig and throw it. First of all, don't touch my head. Take off your own wig and throw it. That's your problem. But
well,
it was that.
the way that she did with me, everything was always a learning lesson. I always had to choose my consequences, even though I always had everything I needed, to where I didn't really want anything. I
Mhm.
still had to work for it, but not in the traditional sense of work. Yeah,
Mhm.
I get good grades. Yeah, be a good person.
Mhm.
But when I messed up, she didn't like get at me like a lot of parents do, because I'm a kid. I didn't know things, but
Mhm.
she didn't take away things that I love just because I didn't know. She always
Mhm.
talked to me through everything that I went through, or that everything that was bad that I did that I didn't even realize I did.
Mhm.
And so like her type of privilege that she gave me was more on just being smart. So I'm privileged by being smart.
She didn't have to
Right.
start at the back of the line.
No, I did not. And because I seen people who did have to start at the back of the line, or I have family members who just had to do more for the little things that they wanted. I knew
Mhm.
I didn't want to be that way, but because I still had those family members that I saw, and I know my mom's story, I know you have to work for everything, and
Mhm.
stuff is not just given to you. I was
Absolutely.
blessed to be one of the ones who had it easier and
Mhm.
had a lot head start, like she said. So
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
she had
but
her own journey, but going through this illness, that was her journey.
mhm.
That was her. There's a lot of people that couldn't walk in her shoes.
Right.
Yeah, that pain. Yes, purpose in the pain in the process.
Yep.
Yeah, so you didn't have
Everybody
to
has to
go
go
through
through.
my journey as a little girl coming out of the hood. No, you didn't have to experience those things, whether you're gonna have lights or food or water. You don't have to
yeah.
experience none of those. That was
I
a
have a more of an emotional journey with my brother dying young, or me being sick and stuff like that. All my issues, yeah, the physical world, I had everything I needed. I was privileged in that way, but I was halted or kind of stunned by the emotional things that I went through and how it impacted my life.
Mhm.
So,
Nice. So we are at the end of the show.
wow. We've been talking for
I
two.
know. I told you it was gonna be like, hey girl, how you doing? Come on over here, have a seat. Um, so I give love notes at the end of the show, and just something for people to kind of chew on, something to think about. So I'm gonna put y'all on the spot last minute. Give me a love note from each of you.
okay. So my love note is with people who are dealing in certain situations that are similar to mine, when they have autoimmune issues or anything that is just other people can't understand. Don't try and make people understand your situation. Everyone
Mm,
walks a different path. Everyone walks a different journey. We can grow up in the same house and still interpret things two different ways. Nobody cannot tell you how you can feel, and nobody can tell you how you should react on anything. And you shouldn't let people bring you down for something that they don't understand or can't even comprehend. So that's my love note for
that's a whole
everyone.
word.
All right, that was a nice love note. So I would say my love note would be no matter what happens in life, there is a life after, but we have to choose it and we have to embrace it. Because on the other side of that journey, where the light is there, there's a person that is waiting for you, that your gift is waiting for you, but you
Yeah,
have to choose it.
yeah, yeah. You have to choose it. You have to be open to
Yes.
it. And my love note for you is to always exist in the moment, whatever that moment is, no matter how great the situation. Exist in that moment, feel in that moment, so that you can come out on the other side. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and trust me, when you get to that light, it's gonna be warm and fuzzy.
Mm, 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 mm.
Shout out to my home girl for making this for me.
All right,
I feel so official. I got my own
all right. Okay.
Love Her Radio show face mask to go out into the world and
Okay.
get with these
I,
people.
may need one of those for overcoming and becoming.
Yeah,
Yes, trust me, I'll hook you up with her. Riri Bridges on Instagram and Facebook is who made them. That's not the name of her business, and I suck for not having that. But
We'll,
um,
I'll connect with you and
yes,
get it.
I'll definitely get the information for you. But I told her what I wanted, sent her my logo, and she put it on there, and I was like, and then put my name on there. Said, look at you clouded. Okay, okay. Got me feeling some kind of way. Anyway, I said, I feel official now. And that's how that is. So that is it for our show today, guys. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you, Miss Latisa B and Miss Jasmin Tia, for coming on and sharing your stories, your push throughs, your comebacks, and I'm so excited for your new beginnings, because it is really going to be something that's needed coming through this pandemic, on the other side of the pandemic, because I think a lot of times, especially now with the shutdown and people having to, it's a lot. It's a lot for people to deal with. A lot of people weren't used to that, having to file for unemployment. Just dealing with that alone is a headache. I filed before, and I know what those lines are like. Filing for food stamps, not having to, being on government assistance alone for some people is like, oh my God, really? Right? So, I'm excited for your new beginnings and your show because I know it is going to be com, and it's so very needed. So blessings to you both.
Thank
And
you.
wait to get my necklace. You all have an awesome week.
Too.
And
Thank you for inviting us to your platform. We really enjoyed ourselves today.
thank you so much for coming.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.